Hey everybody, this is Lord Magicus, and this week is actually the Strixhaven pre-release, so I thought, why don't I actually do some paper pre-release? We haven't had one of those in forever, so this is what I'm doing. So this weekend I played the pre-release, so I'm getting my deck ready now, and then I will have played this on Saturday, so we'll see some games from this, so let's see how this goes. I'm playing Prismari because I'm an Is-It lunatic, so here we go. We're gonna open up some Strixhaven stuff here. See what we get. So here, we're gonna do deck building. This is my sealed pool. I have to get this ready. Alright, let's get this off of here. Yeah, it's fun. We don't really do a lot of limited, but you know, everybody's getting like antsy to start playing again now that the pandemic's almost over. So this is still the safest way to play at the moment because not everybody has had the vaccine yet. What's this? Is this a sticker? I think or something. Hold on. Ah. It is stuck in the packaging. I don't know. Oh, okay. It's alright. Yeah, the little instruction booklet that comes with it. I don't know why it got stuck in there. It's the Prismari. And tells you how to build the pre-release deck. We don't need that. It's alright. Alright, box goes over here. We get rid of this. Let's see what we got. So, yeah, here. Sorry. We have Elite Spellbinder. So, enters the battlefield. Look at target opponent's hand. You can exile a non-land from it. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may play it, and any spell cast this way costs 2 more to cast. So, this card might actually see some modern play. There we go. So let's get this bad boy out of here. I have to kind of like lean forward a little bit to get this stuff out. So there's that. This one can go over here. All right. So there we go. That was our pre-release promo for this. So now this actually comes with a college booster pack. So we're going to go to college. And the college booster pack for this is all whatever the one that we picked is. So it's going to be all Prismari stuff. And then we have 5 packs of Strixhaven to open for this. So let's open this up and see what we got. All right. Pledge Mage. Whenever you, yeah. Magecraft can attack, though it didn't have Defender. Alright. Campus. So that one scries when it, for 4 mana. Creates a 4/4 blue-red and elemental token. The lesson's really good. Soothsayer Adept, one of the only merfolk in the set. It's a looter, so Resculpt. This card is actually really good. I think this will be worth playing the deck. Exile target artifact or creature. Its controller creates a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. I think we should be testing this card in Modern for Merfolk. Alright. Pop quiz, lesson. Or, I'm sorry, it's a draw a card and it has learned, so you can find a lesson like the elemental summoning we were just looking at. Pillar Drop Warden, 1/5 with reach. 2 mana, tap, sacrifice it. You return an instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand as a sorcery. Not bad. Pigment Storm, you have removal, deals 5 damage, and the spell basically has trample, which is nice. Environmental Sciences, searches your deck for a basic land and puts it in your hand. Gain life. So those are our commons. Yeah, there we go. Alright, that's about as far over as they can go. Alright, so Spell Satchel, Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, puts a book counter on it. You remove a book counter for a colorless mana, or you can remove 3 book counters to draw a card. Let's see, Rutha, Mercurial Adept. 2, and you return it to your hand. You copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. Choose new targets for the copy. And then Expressive Iteration. This card has actually been seeing play already in Modern. Surprisingly good. You look at the top 3 cards of your library. You put 1 of them into your hand, 1 in the bottom of your deck, and exile 1. You can play the exiled card. So what you can do is actually put something like Mishra's Bauble or a land into exile, so then you can play it for free, and then you have the 1 card that you put into your hand from it, and then the other one just goes in the bottom. So basically it's like a 2 mana draw 2 if you can do it right. You have to be able to play 1 of the cards though. And our rare is going to be a Freak Flame Painter. So a 1/4 with double strike. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you can cast target instant or sorcery from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. So that seems ridiculously powerful. If we can actually hit the opponent with this thing, it will deal a bajillion damage. Or yeah, it will be very, very good. Just cast all the spells with this. And then we just have tokens here. This elemental token looks pretty badass. And then, yeah, this is for a dual face card. All right, there we go. So that was our college pack. So the college pack is all going to be stuff that we actually care about. So blue cards, blue-red hybrids, lands, colorless, red cards. I try to organize these by color whenever I'm doing this, so that way it's easier for deck building purposes later. Alright, and then rares we'll keep over here. It's fine. Alright, let's see what we get in our first pack. And then once we get everything, maybe we won't go Prismari, but it seems incredibly unlikely that we won't, so. So we got Square Up. Makes a creature a 4 or base power and toughness 4/4. Blood Researcher, 2/2 menace, Golgari colors. I'm sorry, Wither Bloom. You know, everybody's gonna be doing that. Whenever you gain life, you get to counter on it. It's really good. Actually, put the non-Prismari stuff in its own pile. Campus Guide. Yeah, when it's a 2/1 for 2, and it's a color fixing card because it lets you search your deck for a basic land and it puts it on top of it. So it can find you a land. You guarantees that you draw a land the next turn. And it's nice to play in Curve. Dragon's Approach. This card is really awesome, especially if you have a lot of these. It deals 3 damage to each opponent. You may exile it and 4 cards named Dragon's Approach from your graveyard. If you do, search your library for a dragon creature card, put it onto the battlefield and shuffle. And a deck can have any number of cards named Dragon's Approach. So, if you have at least 5 copies of that card, you could theoretically play it in your deck, but you need at least 5 copies. So, Mage Duel, it's a sorcery. It costs 2 less if you cast another instant or sorcery. It gives a creature +1/+2, and then it fights another creature. It's good green removal. Okay. See, Essence Infusion. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature, and it gains lifelink until end of turn. Okay. This is a pretty standard card for black. Pillar Drop Rescuer. It's a 5-drop. It's a 2/2 flyer, but when it enters the battlefield, you return target creature with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to your hand. So it's like a 2/2 flyer that draws a card. I don't know if that's that good, but maybe. Bury Books. Now this card I think actually has some pretty good potential. Costs 2 less if it targets an attacking creature. Otherwise, so it's either 5 mana normally or 3 mana if it's an attacker. Put target creature into its owner's library second from the top. So it actually it buys you some time against a creature. That's nice. Let's see, 2/2 Spirit Warrior. Attacking spirits get +1/+0 until end of turn. Not a bad 2-drop. Spirits are a lore hold thing, but there are some red cards that matter for that. So we have Fractal Summoning, which is a lesson. This lesson, yeah, this is actually a really good lesson. If you're gonna play learn cards in your deck, then this is good to have, because yeah, it makes a creature basically. So it's a pretty standard card. Yeah, it's like an X, you know, make an XX. Alright, here we go. Uncommon. So this is good. So our first like uncommon out of this pack is actually in Prismari colors, so helpful. It's a 2/4 flyer. Whenever it attacks, the next instant or sorcery spell you cast X less to cast, where it's its power is this ability resolve. So if it attacks, then by default the next one would cost 2 colorless less. Very good. I think if we play Prismari, there we're definitely winning that card. Alright. Whenever an opponent casts or copies an instant or sorcery spell, they lose 1 life. So this is an anti-Prismari card. So 3/4 for 4, pretty good. Rip Apart. Rip Apart is probably one of the best spells in this deck, or in the set. Yeah. Deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker, or it destroys target artifact or enchantment. This is versatility, like, as much as you could possibly imagine. Alright, here we go. We have a mythic. It is Hofri Ghostforge. So he's a legendary dwarf cleric. Spirits you control get +1/+1 out of trample and haste. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, if you do, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a spirit, in addition to its other types, and has when this creature leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to your graveyard. So it effectively you get to have when the creature dies, you get another copy of it. So every non-token creature you have that dies basically has 2 lives. That's really cool. And he's a 4/5 for 5. So already like some really compelling reasons to want to play white in this deck. Yeah, oh fuck, we have another. This is a double mythic pack. This is Mind's Desire. So that is a storm card. So shuffle your library, then exile the top card until end of turn. You may play that without paying its mana cost. Yeah, Mind's Desire is extremely powerful. If you have the ability to like storm with that thing, it can get really, really stupid. All right, that was not a bad first pack. All right, let's get ready for our second one here. Taking a little drink here. All right. Let's go. So make your mark. Target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. When the creature dies this turn, you make a 3/2 red and white spirit token. So it makes your creature bigger, but also if it dies, then it also replaces it with a 3/2. That actually seems really good for 1 mana. Storm or Stonebound Mentor. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, you can scry 1. 3/3 for 3, not bad. Yeah, these go in the spot. Right. Biblioplex Assistant. It's a 2/1 flyer for 4. When it enters the battlefield, put up to 1 instant or sorcery card from your graveyard and top your library. And it's not terribly strong, but maybe if you have like the right spell that you want to cast again, it matters. This is a very standard white card. +2/+2 and hexproof till end of turn. As long as you control 8 or more lands, Vortex Runner gets +1/+0 and can't be blocked. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Very, very strong late game card. Pigment Storm, has trample. Removal spells are just good in general. So Tangle Trap, another very standard green card. Deals 5 damage to a creature with flying or destroys an artifact. So very versatile. You can bring it against flyers or artifacts if you're playing green. 2/3 flyer for 6 mana. Target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. And it's a 4-drop. That's not too bad for 4 mana, and it has a really relevant late game effect. So, oh, that's okay. That's interesting. So our next card is actually rare. It's Academic Probation, which is weird. It happened before the uncommons. I don't know how this works. Like, fuck, can you get like triple rares in this? Like, you get a mystical art. Can you get quadruple rares? Like, how the fuck is this? Because I didn't realize. How is this a rare slot? I don't understand that. You have a regular rare, right? But there's also mystical archives and possibly foils. So what? This could be like a triple rare set. All right. Well, yeah. So you can choose one and choose a non-land card name. They can't cast spells. The chosen name until your next turn, or it second ability detains for a turn. So, all right. I mean, lesson. Yeah, it's not a terrible lesson if you just need to. It's kind of like a fog, I guess. Stonebinder's familiar. Whenever one or more cards are put into exile during your turn, you put a +1/+1 counter, and it only triggers once each turn. You can see it's kind of like off-center here on this. Yeah, I don't know. This pack of cards, like, these cards keep like getting progressively more and more off center. Oh shit! Yeah, okay. You're gonna have to look at this next one. Yeah, this one you can really tell in here. So it's a Witherbloom, legendary Dryad Druid. For whenever you gain life, each opponent loses a life, and you sack another creature. Dina Soul Steeper gets +X/+0, where X is the sacrifice creature's power. The 1/3. But if you actually look on the edge of this card, you can see it. Yeah, it's just ever so slightly starting to show the edge of another card because it's like so shifted off to the right. Like right here, there's like a white line. All right, Master Symmetrist, 4/4 reach. Whenever a creature you control with power equal to its toughness attacks, it gains trample until end of turn. This card is insanely good. It's a very, very strong card. 4/4 for 4, like, and it's just a lot of text. This is like a fucking uncommon version of Questing Beast. Alright. Here we go. Dramatic Finale. This is one of the Silver Quill cards. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1. Whenever one or more non-token creatures you control die, you get a 2/1 white and black Inkling creature token with flying, and it only triggers once each turn. And here we have Infuriate. Target creature gets +3/+2 until end of turn. That's not that great. And a foil here, so 0/4 Defender that mills a card. Alright. Come on, what do we got in our next one? We have 3 packs left. Then we have to actually build a deck once we've seen and opened all these cards. So there we go. Eureka Moment. This is like the bigger version of Growth Spiral. Draw 2 cards and then you put a land into play. Biomathematician. It's a 2/2 for 3 mana when it enters. Create a 0/0 green, blue, and fractal creature token, and then it puts a +1/+1 counter on each fractal you control. So if you have multiple tokens, this actually can be really powerful. Oh, lands. Okay, so it's black green one. Surprised we haven't seen more of those. Fuming Effigy, I think we already talked about it. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Okay, seems good. 4/3 for 4 is pretty good for red. 3/2 for 3. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life. It's a solid creature for green. There you go. 2/2 for 2 that has lifelink on your turn. Yep. Pilgrim of the Ages. 3 mana, 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, you can search your library for a Plains card, reveal it to put it in your hand, and then shuffle. And for 6 mana, it goes from your graveyard to your hand. Not bad for common. So it basically, it's card advantage, and then in the late game, it's more card advantage. I like that. Card advantage is really powerful. Pop quiz, draw a card, learn. It's good. Let's see. Sudden Breakthrough. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. Create a treasure token. So it costs 2 mana, but you get a rebate on it. You get 1 mana back out of it. So it basically only costs 1 mana. But yeah, it's one of those like red combat tricks. It's really strong in those kind of decks. Inkling Summoning is a lesson that makes it a 2/1 Inkling token. There you go. Uncommon time. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. When the permanent you don't control dies this turn, you gain 2 life. So this is the superior version of the fight card where your creature just like throws its power at something. Very, very, very good card for green. Any green deck wants to be playing that card for sure. Zephyr Boots, equipped creature is flying. Whenever it deals damage, or combat damage to a player, you draw a card and discard a card. Seems okay. Here you go. Lorehold Apprentice. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell until end of turn, spirit creatures you control gain. This creature taps to deal 1 damage to each opponent. So this card is like really weird because it wants you to be playing a bunch of spells in your deck. It wants you to be playing a bunch of spirits in your deck, and this itself is not either of the things that it wants you to be playing a lot of in your deck. So I don't know how exactly to use this correctly. It's not like I don't know. It seems strange. Like it's not the kind of card that like really fits well in a deck. So all right, here's a rare. The Elf Druid, Accomplished Alchemist. So it taps to add 1 mana of any color, or it taps to add X mana of any one color, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. It's a 2/5 for 4 mana. Yeah, so if you gain a bunch of life, this can make a ridiculous amount of mana. That seems really powerful. And then our Mystical Archive card is Agonizing Remorse. The opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card, and then you lose a life. So, okay. So far we don't really see, I don't see a lot of good ways to use that Mind's Desire. I really would like to be able to play it. Here we go. 4/4 Vigilance Menace for 5 mana. This card seems pretty good. It's a very good beater. It's hard to block, gets to attack and be on defense every turn. Great. Infused with Vitality. Yeah, so if a creature would die, it comes back in the battlefield tapped, and you gain 2 life. There's usually a version of this card in a lot of sets. Yeah, this is the big Growth Spiral one. Leyline Invocation. Makes a fractal token with X counters on it, where it's the number of lands you control. And it costs 6 mana, so I'm guessing most of the time this is going to be a 6 mana 6/6, but it's a spell, and it's a fractal for whatever those things matter, so... Okay. Each player loses 2 life. You draw 2 cards for 4 mana. Okay, it's the +2/+2 and hexproof. It's the +1/+0 can't be blocked if you have 8 lands. Oh, here we go. This is good. Heated Debate. 3 mana. This spell can't be countered. Deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. That is very, very good removal. Okay, get 3/2, gain 2 life. Here we go. Here's a good lesson. Scry 2, then draw a card. Alright. So now we have like a very powerful, well, I guess like a very generic lesson where if we just want to draw a card, you know, now a lot of our lessons will just say draw a card. Or the learns all have a draw a card attached to them. Alright, so 10 the Pest. It's an additional cost to cast a spell. You sack a creature, create X/1/1 black and green pest creature tokens with. When this creature dies, you gain a life. Where X is the sacrifice creature's power. Alright. And it's an instant. So you can do it on something that's about to die anyway. Another powerful black spell here. Modal, so either a target player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, or creates a 2/1 white and black inkling token with flying. Okay, so 2/1 flyer, or you can kill a planeswalker because they're like never going to have 2 of them. Or, you know, if they only have 1 creature, you can make them sack it. This is a very powerful black card. Here we go. 2/3 Vigilance for 3 mana. If you would gain life, you gain that much +1 instead. So this is already like something that we have another card that does something similar to this in Historic. And it gets +2/+1 as long as you have 25 or more life. I think this card is very playable. Very good. Culling Ritual. Destroy each non-land permanent with a mana value 2 or less, and add a black or green for each permanent destroyed this way. Well, that seems pretty interesting. And then Revitalize. Gain 3, draw a card. That's kind of bleh. Alright, we have one more pack to go, and then it's deck building time. So, let's see what we can do with this. Come on, we need something good here. Take another drink quick. Alright, so for 5 mana, it is a 5/5 Magecraft, and then it gains you a life. Cram Session, gain 4 life, learn. Alright. So we have some life gain stuff that fits that thing. 3/3 Trample Lifelink for 4. So, alright, this one is a 2 mana 1/2 flyer and 4 mana exile a card from your graveyard. Target creature gains flying until end of turn. But it is a spirit, so that's worth noting. When Frost Trickster enters the battlefield, tap target creature and opponent control. Yeah. So it's a 2/2 flying bird wizard. This is like just a strictly better version of Water Trap Weaver. Sadly, it's not a merfolk, so. Imagine if this was like Water Trap Weaver. Water Trap Weaver had flying. That would be fucking awesome. But it doesn't get to have flying. You know, ours doesn't because ours is a merfolk. Yeah, Effigy, we already looked at that. We've seen that one already. Yep, we've seen that one already. We've seen Summoning. That one makes the Elemental token. Oh, here we go. Team Pennant. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has Vigilance and Trample. It equips a creature token for 1, a regular creature for 3. Here we go. Emergent Sequence. Search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, tapped, and shuffle. And then it becomes a fractal creature token that gets a +1/+1 counter for each land entered the battlefield this turn. So you could make it a 2/2 theoretically. But this is a rampant growth that also turns that the land you find into a creature as well. There we go. Okay, well we got another Prismari spell here. For 7 mana, it deals 5 damage to any target. You look at the top 5 cards and put 1 into your hand and the rest bottom into any order. But you can also pay 2 mana and discard it to create a treasure token. Okay. So here we go. We have one of the professors here, right? So are the deans, yeah. So Kian, Dean of Substance. So the 2/2 elf for 3. Exile the top card of your library. If it's a land, it goes in your hand. Otherwise, it gets a study counter on it. And for 5 mana, she makes a fractal token with +1/+1 counter on it for each different mana value along non-land cards you own, and exile the study counters on them. Alright. And then the other side, which this is probably much more important to us, 3/3 flyer for 4, and for X and blue, exile the top X cards of your library and put a study counter on each of them. Then you may put a card you own in exile with a study counter on it into your hand. Interesting. Okay, so say like the first time you exile like, 2 cards and you actually like both of them, then next time maybe you just pay 0 and then you get the other one that's there. Alright, that's kind of interesting. I mean, this card seems really good. If we're going to play blue, we'll probably play this card. And then we also have Stone Rain here. And what's this? Yeah, Daemongoth Woe Eater. Beginning of your upkeep, you have to sacrifice a creature. Whenever you sacrifice this, each opponent discards a card, you draw a card, and you gain 2 life. But it's a 7/6 for 4. So if you have a bunch of tokens, it's maybe okay. Alright. There we go. That's our pool here. Oh, here. Come on. Camera, you gotta focus here. Work with me. Come on, you gotta help me out here. There we go. All right, we're good. All right. Oops. Ah, no, I need to stop kicking that. All right, there. All right, there we go. Sorry. All right, so these are the tokens. These are irrelevant, so we'll just put these to the side. So we see our archive cards here. Stone Rain is probably the most useful one of these. We probably want to play the Stone Rain if we have the option. It's really good. Alright. So I'm interested in him. Let's see, this guy's good. So okay, so we have to like look at this. Do we want to play white in our deck? So I think blue red or blue white's definitely an option. Maybe like, do we have other stuff that we care about? I don't know, it's hard. We have to think about this. Alright. What bombs do we care? So this one cares about spirits. I don't know if we have enough spirits to care about him. But he's definitely a build around card. We do have a lot of green-black stuff, but I don't want to give up on red-blue. Like, if I could find a way to like make these work, then I kind of want to. All right, especially yeah, we do have a fair bit of Prismari stuff here, so let's see. We're just like seeing how much of each of the others that we have. We do have a lot of Witherbloom stuff. So we have the Culling Ritual and the Alchemist over here, but I don't know if like that's enough for me to want to play it. It's not bad though. What do we do? I do like that this fractal summoning is a lesson that we could use if we go Prismari, because it's actually something in the sideboard that we can grab. We did not get a lot of Silver Quill stuff here, so that's kind of irrelevant. We did get a couple cards though for Lorehold. I think this Rip Apart's really good, and this Relic Sloth is also really good. Wow, it's close. Like, well, let's see what the rest of these look like. Alright. Not very many white cards, though. 1, 2. We have 4 creatures that are spirits. 4 spirits is not a whole lot to really build a deck around. I don't know, like that really makes it hard to justify white. Like, I think if we had more white stuff, then that would be much better to sell, but well, this is removal. We do have a fair bit of green cards. It's fine. Good news is I think we have enough red stuff that's good. A lot of colorless too. It's a good side. Yeah, that lesson's good to have in the sideboard. I mean, that one's also a nice sideboard thing to have. I don't know how many learn cards we have in those colors, though. Alright. Let's see here. So, red. We got 4 drops, removal. That's not inspired. We don't have a lot of creatures. You have like 3 removal spells though, and then at least 1 other playable spell. Alright, what about the rest of this? That's rough. We still don't have a lot of creatures. I don't know, like, this does make it difficult. Alright, what do we have here that's in both colors here? That's a spell, it's a creature. What would you, okay, so maybe we can make this work. Okay, those are fine. They're 5 drops, but they're spells that are also 4/4s. We still don't have a lot of stuff to do in like turn 2. Well, what about, do we have like a lot of good learn stuff? No, we have like pop quiz, so 2 pop quizzes, but they're 3 mana. Like, damn it, we have like very little to do at 2 mana in these colors. It's kind of rough. Expressive iteration's like the only thing here. I guess we have this guy too. These spells are all fine. It's hard to, that all of this stuff is like in the 3 to 5 mana range. I don't know, that doesn't seem terribly good to me. So is there a way that we can make something work? Well, we don't have a lot of good white stuff. Maybe we... What about this? What about... Alright, let's look at green again. Maybe green-black will give us some options. How many creatures do we have? Just being able to curve out matters quite a lot, usually. Not many creatures over here either, only 4 black. I mean, we could play 3 colors, I guess, but 3 colors is usually not the way that you want to go. We don't have a lot of mana fixing for it. We only have like 1 land that mana fixes. These are all like 3 mana as well. Wow. Okay. So basically our entire pool is like full of a lot of slow cards. So... Well... I think we might have to consider a white splash, even though it doesn't look terribly great. That seems to be where I'm at right now. Alright, I definitely want fractal summoning. I don't think the rest of these are going to do anything. Here, sorry. The black stuff up here. If we do splash white, we can play Elite Spellbinder, I guess. And we get to play like all this stuff. The question is, that means I probably need to put this in my main deck. And I'm probably going to need this Campus Guide, because they can find basic lands. Alright, let's start taking a look. Let's see what this deck would theoretically look like. Let's see. So we go with creatures. Man, I think we need to play basically every creature that we have access to. I don't have a lot of spirits. It's like, I don't know if I want another 2/2/2. Actually, okay, these are all spirits. Maybe this card will be okay. Fractal Summoning is really like a big creature. And fixing. Oh, I'm trying. Okay, it depends. I don't know if we're going to be playing a lot of lessons though. We might not have a lot of room to do that. Well, if we're playing all that stuff, that would be like 15 creatures. We could probably get away with just red blue, so I guess we have to consider, do we want the splash of white or not? Is it worth it? Like, the Pilgrim of the Ages is not bad. Well, oh yeah, we're playing this thing, so maybe this is okay. Maybe things are going to be just like a little bit slow, so this is fine. I'll play Stone Rain, I guess. Sure. This makes well, I guess, yeah. Well, if it's just a 2-color deck, then I probably don't need Environmental Sciences. This just helps find the land and also draws another card. Okay, so if I were to do this, I'd have to probably get rid of like 1 card at least. These Vortex Runners really like having lots of lands. So it might be worth it just to... Well, the Campus Guide just finds lands. I don't know, maybe Campus Guide's not actually that good here. It is a 2/1, so like, for 2 mana. But it doesn't actually draw a card, it just puts 1 on top of the deck. Maybe Environmental Sciences is actually better than that. because it's an instant or sorcery and it has, synergy with a lot of this stuff. This Flame Painter actually has some synergy with Mind's Desire because it can let us play a bunch of stuff for free. So, alright, that might be okay. At least this replaces itself. It puts the land into your hand right away. Now this draw a card, learn is actually important because it replaces itself and puts a card from the sideboard into your hand. I don't know what I'd want to take out for it though. Okay, let's see. We're never playing this thing, right? You know, we're always playing it on this side. Because, yeah, the 3/3 flyer that, like, draws you cards is always good. But maybe I don't want Stone Rain. I think the pop quizzes are a little bit better. They're like 3 mana draw cards, and they're instants and sorceries. This is what deck building looks like here, so. Oh, it's complicated. I don't know what all the other decks are going to look like for this. I mean, if we play, if we play like these two things in here, I have to have some lessons in the sideboard to play with it, so maybe like take out like one of the elemental summonings or the fractal one of those, at least one of those cards has to go to the sideboard then. Fuck. Do we have other lessons to look at here for our sideboard? We can't really cast that one. So we're never going to have the mana to because it's a black-white card. This one does scry to and draw a card, but I don't know. It's really just like this one. And it almost kind of makes me feel like it might just be better to play it here like this. So that gives us room for 17 lands. Man, we might have to just live with that. Alright, guess that's okay. Alright. I think this is fine. I think this is how I'm going to go for this. I don't think there's any other cards that I really feel the urgent need to have, so. Creative Outburst is kind of cool because you can discard it, and then like if you ever hit with this thing, that actually lets you cast it from the graveyard. And I can just use removal on a bunch of creatures. They have to block this thing, right? Pretty much always. So I can just clear the way for it. It'd be really good. It might be hard to, well, we'll see. I don't know, like Mind's Desire will just cast a random card. Sometimes it'll cast 2 random cards, but I guess it'll be fun. I don't have like any rituals to play with it, unfortunately. So I don't have like any learn effects in here, I don't think. That kind of sucks. But it gives me 16 creatures and then some. But some of the creatures are also spells, so that's fine. I have like a couple spirits, though. There's not like a lot, but Blood Age General's not great. It's doesn't do literal nothing, though. I mean, this thing's pretty interesting, so... Yeah, I don't know. I'm not, like, super stoked about this deck, but I guess it's okay. I was hoping that we would do, like, a little bit better than that. You know what? Maybe I need this sudden breakthrough. Because that actually does make a mana, so it's like a 1 mana spell that you can kind of cast. With Mind's Desire, maybe if you can get to 7 mana. Yeah, it makes a treasure token, which is neat. We'll have some room for that somewhere. The elemental summonings are good with this thing because you can always cast them to make 4/4s. Yeah. Maybe I'll do it like this. You can take one of these things out. I guess that's fine. We have enough stuff to do with like 4 or 5 plus mana, so I don't really need the X spell that much. But I think this making a treasure token and like maybe possibly being able to cast it a second time, maybe the treasure helps ramp us up into something stupid, who knows. But also +2/+0, like, it's actually pretty good. And it gives something first strike, so it's very good combat blowout. Alright, that's how we're going to roll with this. So at this point, all we're going to do is just sleeve this up. And we also have to choose basic lands. So actually, I'm just gonna choose my lands here, and then I think we'll call it. So we need some islands and some mountains. Let's see what we got. I always keep a box full of basics for this purpose. Alright. So now the last important things we have to figure out exactly, like, how many of each basic do we need? You can like kind of get an idea by just counting up like the mana symbols a lot of times. So here I have 16 land slots to dedicate to this. So let's do that. Alright, so blue, we got 1. Okay, well blue-red hybrid doesn't actually count because everything taps for that, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 blue, red we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 11 to 16 means we should probably be slightly heavier in red. Now it is worth noting, a lot of our 3-drops are all blue, and most of the red is like, yeah, the red is all, oh, I kicked the camera again. No, wrong way. Yeah, that way. Let's. Yeah, the red is like double red for stuff like this, which is a 5-drop, versus like a single blue on turn 3 is a little bit more important. So, a balance might actually just be fine. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna go 8 and 8. Also, I don't remember if I counted the Mind's Desire, which if I didn't, I definitely should have. Let me find some cool basics to play here. I always have like a thing where I have to pick like lands that have the same picture on them. So I have to find 8 lands that are. I have a stack of full art lands here, so I want to see if I can find 8 of these that have the same the picture I like on it. There we go. You can see. Oh, can I find one more of those? Of course not. Never. They have infinite of these stupid little cup ones, but I hate the bowl. The bowl is the worst. Okay, well it's not going to be that one because I only have 7 of it. Let's see. I'm trying to avoid having to pick the bowl. Okay, I think we'll use that one. There we go. Alright, these are all the same one. There we go. This is the island we're gonna choose here. Alright, so we go. Oh, damn it. I have another English one of those. Yes, I do. Okay, good. One of the ones I grabbed was a foreign one. Let's see. That is definitely not an English island. There we go. So there's our islands, and now we have to pick out some pretty mountains to play. Picking out the lands is important, alright? This matters. This is what gives you motivation when you're top decking lands. At least you have to pick a land that's going to make you not give up in the game. Let's see. What kinds of mountains do I have available in copies of 8? Okay. Yeah, we'll go with the classic. We'll go with the Loopy Mountain. There we go. That's the one. For sure. So then 4 of those. And 4 of those. There we go. Alright, let's clean this up a little bit. Get all these cards out of the way. I don't really have a lot of not very much extra red stuff. Okay. There we go. That's how we're rolling with this. This is our deck. Move this here a little bit so it's all on screen. Alright, so this is what I've put together. We'll see if this works out. I think we could have done a little bit better, but we're just gonna play with it and have fun and see how this goes. So there we go. Congratulations, we have successfully built a pre-release deck. So that is gonna be the deck building portion here. So that took a while because we opened up all of the stuff and we're reading through this for the first time to try to see what all these cards do and then trying to build the deck. It's worth noting you normally have like an hour to do this, and it has been just about an hour right now. So yeah, you can see that's usually by about now is when you would normally be finishing this process up, and it's been a little bit slower because I was narrating it the whole time. But yeah, we'll have to see how the games go with this. So hopefully we do well. I believe they said there's going to be 3 rounds of this. So yeah, I don't know what we're going to do to fill out the rest of the content for this week, but we'll do something. I don't know. Maybe actually, you know what? I have an idea of what I might do. I might do some arena stuff. So anyway, that's it for the sealed stuff. So we will have to go and see how we do in the game. So the games will be a separate video. So everybody, give this a thumbs up. Let me know if you were playing pre-release. There we go. There we got it. Yeah, let me know if you're playing pre-release. I'm curious to know like what kind of stuff that you decided to play. So, all right, wish me luck. We're gonna see. Well, I'm gonna see tomorrow, but you're gonna see shortly after this how this is gonna go. So, everybody, take it easy, and I will see you again later.